first? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How is everybody doing? What's new? What's snaps? How's life? I think I have actually everything set up today, despite like frantic trying to work on a project this morning. And like, oh shit, it's almost stream time. Alright, actually I didn't do my hair. Let me quick take my hair down, because I had just showered also. So my hair this is what I do when I go and shower and it's not wash day. I just put it up in clips. There we go. Secret inside Sam life. There. And now the hair is down. How is everyone doing? What's going on? It's getting closer to Halloween. Ooh. Here we go. My hair. There's no fixing it. It's bedhead. I didn't do anything with it today. But yeah. So, I have been busy. And I also feel like shit today. I did not get great sleep the last several nights, and I also have not been napping to catch up. So, we're gonna see how I do today. I'm gonna do my best. We're all gonna do our best, and we're gonna just go for it. So, I do have updates as far as Christmas gifts goes. I have a lot of news, actually. The True is talking to me. Hey Johnny, thanks again for the resub. I keep trying to fix my hair, but there's no fixing. It is what it is. But for anybody who needs some catching up for Christmas gifts, I am hand making them all this year, so I've started early. So don't feel bad if you haven't started your Christmas gift stuff, or if you don't do Christmas gift stuff. This is just me. I had some people be like, oh my god, why would you mention Christmas right now? And I'm like, I'm not doing it to like upset you. But anyway, so the first one, I'm hand making all of them and I'm trying to learn how to sew. So I figured I would, two birds, one stone. I would do most of them. There's two that are not sewn because I couldn't think of any gift ideas for them. You'll see. So first one, I try to go in like order of easiest to hardest. I had to delay some of them that I now have finished because I didn't have the fabric then. But anyway, first gift done was it is a sailboat plushie for my youngest, Nibbling. She will be 1 this December. So I try to make like a baby safe sailboat. And actually I found this stripe fabric at a lurk. Oh, no worries for the lurk. Thank you. Welcome to the stream. But yeah, so hand sewn. Well, not hand sewn, sorry. It's with a sewing machine. But I found this striped fabric at the used art supply store, so I'll get to that. I have some crazy news with that one. But of course, with all of my projects, things went wrong. And one of the things that went wrong with this one is I somehow had this like little flag inside the boat. I don't know how I did that. So I had to unpick everything and then remove it and then flip it. And then anyway, it worked out. We have a sailboat. So that was gift number 1 that I made. Gift number 2, I'm starting to kind of forget the order that I made these in, but gift number 2, which apparently nobody outside of the US knows what these are. Because I asked my Russian tutor, never heard of these before. She's like, I can't even fathom that. And then I asked my Japanese tutor, and I told her that my Russian tutor didn't know what these were. And she's like, all right, lay it on me, I'm gonna see. And I showed it to her, and she's like, the fuck is that? And then when I explained it, she's like, oh my god, I know what you're talking about. It's the most American thing ever. Anyway, it's a bowl cozy. When like you're making soup and stuff. Anyway, it is reversible. So you can have he wanted white and black. I asked, this is Alexander's, and I already gave it to him. But like he likes soup, okay? And like it's soup time, and so it's like I asked him what he wanted for Christmas. He was his usual like shoulder shrug, like, girl, that tells me nothing. And I said, okay, if I make this for you, would you use it? Like, do you want it? And he's just like, maybe, it depends. And I'm like, girl, come on. And I'm like, okay, fine, if he doesn't want it, then I'll just end up using it. And yes. And actually, if you have a sewing machine, this is a fairly approachable project. I just kind of made some mistakes that if you're careful and like don't get cocky about it, You shouldn't be making the same mistakes as I did. But it's just a 10 by 10 square. And then you need 2 fabrics, and then you need 2 sheets of batting that are all 10 by 10. It's really easy. I just got a little bit cocky of like, I know what to do now for this part, and then I screwed up and I had to unpick everything. And then also, I'm still really not good with top stitching around edges. Let me find the really ugly part. Hold on. This part. I went over it twice. Don't ask me how I did that. I don't remember. And then this, I don't know how this happened, but the fabric got bunched up, and then this happened. It's that happens, and then there was another spot that was like, oh no, I think that was it. Those were like the main spots. Like I don't know what I did. But always around the top stitching, it gets like bunchy, and I don't know what I do, and like, and the spot, I hate hand sewing. I hate hand sewing with a passion. And like, I won't even hand sew a button now that I have a sewing machine that has a button foot. Did you know there's a button foot? Not a buttonhole foot. That's a different button. That's a different foot. But there's a button foot. And now that I know how to use it, I will never ever in my life hand sew a button ever again. I hate hand sewing. But anyway, so you have to leave a hole to turn everything inside out. I made my hole way too small. That was another mistake. Give yourself plenty of room with this because there's 4 layers. So you can see, like, it got pulled when I tried to pull the stuff through. It just, and then like, I tried, that was the top stitching, and it always just, you can tell, like that's the spot that was the hole. And I'm so bad at it. Anyway, that was project number 2. But he likes it. I already gave it to him. I was so stressed. I was like, I don't want to wait till Christmas to see if you like it. And it's practical. I'm like, I'm just gonna give it to you now. And no, but he likes it, and he's like, I want another one. And I'm like, okay, I'll make you another one for your Christmas gift. How about that? That's a good idea. I've seen they also make a foot that does straight lines too, but then people were saying like, oh, you don't need the foot, you could just like get good, bitch. And it's like anyway, so gift number 3, I crocheted because I didn't know what to sew for him. And I apologize in advance for about to burn your eyes. Anyway, I made a minion. I'm not a fan. No, this came out excellent. I'm very happy with this. I don't like minions. And like when I was with him, all he wants to do is watch the Minion movie whenever it's like sleepover night, and I was like at my parents and they're like, oh, it's the kids get to pick the movies, and he always picked the same Minion movie. Not Minion movies, not different Minion movies. He picked the same one, and I'm like, child, I have been there. I watched the same episode of Aladdin for like a good 3 months of my life. We went to, this was Blockbuster, I think. Yeah, I don't think we got it from Hollywood Video. I think it's from Blockbuster. I watched the same exact episode, and I know exactly which episode it is. And my dumbass. Okay, so children's shows, they're cut in half, right? So you have the first half. I don't know if they don't do this anymore, right? Where there's like 2 parts, like just 2 episodic things. So you have like the first half, the first 15 minutes, and you have, or like 10 minutes, and you have the next like 10, 12 minutes. And then that's the episode, is those 2 stories. And I hated the first story. It was so, I just hated it with a passion. But the one that I liked was the second story. And I never fast forward. Why? My dumbass sat down every single time I wanted to rewatch the episode, and I started from the beginning. Because I was like, I have to get through that. That's the only way to watch it. And then I would get to the second half and I'm like, yes, this is my glorious thing. And I'm so stupid back then. Just press the fast forward button. Oh my god. It's pretty illegal to watch the same movie back to back. It's out of my hands. It's just not a funny movie. I don't know, my parents are like, oh, it's like cute, it's endearing, and I'm like, no, it's not. Anyway, so this is the Minion. He has hair. This character, I think I did it right. The one with the one eye. I looked it up. I think he has hair. If not, then he has hair now, and I'm not fixing it. But I screwed up a few times on him too. You can't see it now because I'm that good. Okay, I fixed it. But yeah, I started with yellow because my brain was like, it's a minion, it's yellow. And usually when you have like crochet patterns, they start from the head and go to the butt. That's why I always call like the last stitch the butthole. But this was the opposite. It was a head hole. And so I was, it threw me off. And then the eye, I messed up on the eye too, but I covered it up. So you can't even tell. So it's good, it's worked out. Gift number 4 was for my mom. This one, I am obsessed. I'm obsessed. I messed up a lot actually on her gift too, but I'm still obsessed. It is a rope bowl. I used the wrong rope, okay? I used macrame rope, which is like the twisty. You're supposed to use braided rope. It's very like blown out right now. But yeah, I used like this iridescent thread, which never shows up on camera, but it's gorgeous in person. And then I found a tutorial that talked about wrapping fabric. And I had this fabric that I was like, this is very my mom. And so I made her a rope bowl that you can't see because it's so blown out from my camera. But trust me, it's here, it's there, it's everywhere. So I've just been kind of like doing this. And just putting the gifts on my shelf. So that's what I had so far. But then, lo and behold, I found the fabric for my brother, and his was supposed to be gift number 1 because his was supposed to be the easiest gift. And actually his was the first gift where I made 0 mistakes. I was so happy about it, and it came out so nice, and I'm so excited. You're not gonna be able to tell what it is once I hold it up, but once I explain, it'll make sense. It's a square! No, I'm just kidding. It's a scarf. It's a cowl or an infinity scarf. So like you put it over your head like that, and then it's just like it wraps around your neck. And but it came out so nice. It's fleece, so it's nice and soft. And I hand sewed it close. Who is she? What is this? Oh my god. But yeah, you can't even like tell. I feel like I did a really good job. Oh, I found it. Never mind. I did a really bad job. Oh, where's the part where it's not straight? I was like, wow. Oh. There we go. I found it. It's okay. You can tuck it on the inside and no one will know. No one will know. Anyway, so I was going to make my other brother a much more complicated gift, and his was going to be done later because, again, complicated ones, later gifts. But I didn't end up liking the idea anymore, and I couldn't think of like a good way to make it work. So my brothers are used to getting the same shit from my parents every year. They're getting the same shit from me. So I made my other brother a cowl. Another square. I made him a cowl. And actually, look how close that accidental... Look, wait, hold on. Wait, there. Look at that. Almost a circle. That would have been so cool. And actually, my tutor pointed out when I showed her the boat, I didn't do this on purpose. What the fuck? Look at that. Who does that? Who is she? But, yeah, so I made him a cowl, too, and he can deal. And I did mess up on his. The machine did not like his cowl. You're so good at making tangents, though. I mean, maybe that's why. Maybe that's why it's crooked. It's like, no, you cannot be straight. But yeah, so his might be a little bit more fragile because you're supposed to do zigzag stitching to help it stretch. But the machine did not want to zigzag on this, so some parts are just straight. I don't know why. So I will probably tell him to gentle wash and maybe like flat dry. I don't know. But there's all the gifts that are done. And let me just toss these on the floor over there. And then the gift I was working on this morning was for my dad. And actually, Donnie, I'm so glad you're here because you're going to love this story. So before I show the gift, I have to explain a story. It's story time. So my dad, still nowadays too, but like more so when I was younger, he traveled all the time for work. And it was always frustrating for him to try to find his suitcase in the sea of suitcases that all look exactly the same. I don't have this problem because I'm smart and I have a leopard suitcase. Like nobody else has leopard suitcases. Anyway, so he buys this brand new suitcase, brand new. And he has these puffy paint pens. And he comes to me and I am like somewhere in the vein of 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't remember ages, I just remember events. All right. And so I had to have been at least 7 because this was in a different house. So he comes to me, a child, with puffy paint pens and a brand new just purchased suitcase. Suitcases are way too expensive. And he hands me the puffy paint pens. And he's so excited. He's so happy. He's like, I want you, my only daughter, the artist of the family, to draw me something on this suitcase. So when it comes on the conveyor belt, I will be able to spot it and know that you did that. And I was like, okay. I kind of didn't super want to do it at the time. Shaking my head. So he leaves me alone with the puffy paint pens. Again, the only instructions I was given was to use the puffy paint pens on the suitcase. So I did. And I drew the ugliest ass shit. I put lines everywhere, swirls, circles. I mixed colors. I squiggled things together. Like if you use a puffy paint pen, if you hold it further away, like just a little bit off, you get like a nice smooth, like circle-y kind of lay down, right? But if you shove it on the thing, it adds like an indent. So I did that as well. So there was like parts that were like indented and things just looked horrible. It was like somebody just vomited color. And it was like a glittery paint pen, puffy paint pen thing too. It was great. It was disgusting. And I also did not really like it at the time. I was like, damn, this is ugly. Brand new suitcase, by the way. My dad comes back a little while later. And I don't really know how to feel when I show him the suitcase because I don't like it either. But it's too late. It's on there. You're not getting it off. And so he looks at it and you can just see the brain working when he looks at it because it's like on the one hand, hi sir, welcome to the stream, happy Sunday. I'm telling the story about the time I decorated my dad's brand new suitcase when I was like probably 8 or 9 years old. He gave me puffy paint pens and I made it the ugliest shit ever. So he looks at it and like, you know, you can't help but like look at it realistically, like it's ugly as shit, okay? It looks terrible on this brand new suitcase that he probably spent like hundreds of dollars on. And on the other hand, I am a child. I am his precious only daughter. And he didn't give me any instructions other than to use the puffy paint pens. Like, so he can't be mad at me because I did exactly what he told me to do. So it's like, on the one hand, you are angry. On the other hand, you can't be angry. And so he's just like trying to just like, it's like a broken robot trying to like communicate. Anyway, he really struggled. I could tell he was not happy with it. I was also not happy with it, but I also was just like, I don't want to care. So I kind of just like left. And he's just there with the suitcase. Anyway, so he leaves on his trip and he comes back sometime later. And he's a changed man. He has to stop working, literally. So he's now a changed man. He's now experienced life with this suitcase. He comes back and he can't apologize to me, right? Because like my dad, he's never apologized to me before. That's just not his thing. So he does the next best thing, I guess, the closest thing that he can do, which is, it worked so well. He was able to spot it from so far away. He was so happy in that moment. He was like, oh my god, wait a minute, I take it back. This worked out too well. And it was like his favorite suitcase from then on. So very funny. Anyway, point being, the Christmas gift, wish to come, exactly. Christmas gift is, I'm making him a very ugly, obnoxious looking thing for his suitcase. And it is coming out beautifully so far, actually. So I needed to find like the most bright, crazy, in your face fabric. And at the creative reuse store that I went to, they had a orange and yellow fabric box, and I was like, that's the one, that's the color. And I found this is the gift, but I found like this fabric and I was like, this is the fabric, this is the one. It's not that bright on camera, I'm telling you, it hurts your eyes to look at in person. And then I also found this yellow and I'm like, that's the lining, that's it. So I have these two fabrics. I promise you in person, they are like brighter than highlighters, okay? It's great. So I'm making him an attachable little baggie that he can clip on or use the, I don't know what these are called. I forget, my brain farting. But he can hook on his suitcase and he will be able to spot it from very far away. And that's the plan. So this is as far as I've gotten. I've gotten the top done. yeah, exactly. So I'm super excited about it. It's coming out really nice so far. And that's gonna be his Christmas gift. And I should be able to finish that today. And it has also been having issues. I've been having trouble with that one too, but we made it this far. So it's fine. Every Christmas gift, except for my one brother's, has had issues, okay? I don't know why. This keeps happening to me. But that's the story of all the Christmas gifts and where we're at right now. And I'm very excited about, the progress. So I'm like halfway, I think, right now. I've done 6, right? And I have 6 more to go. So we're making good progress, all right? We're making good progress. So the other thing that you guys are probably here for is grammar. Ignore it. It's not. I tried to clean up before the stream. Look at that. Da 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 da. It's printer. And it prints in color. Let's go. Yes. Alexander surprised me with a present. It's not like anything present. It was just a surprise. And he gave me a color printer. I was telling him about all these like things that I was wanting to do with the color printer. And the printer we have right now is like a really cheapo black and white one. And it's not very great. And I was like, oh, but I could print, bookmarks, and I could print notepads, and I could print prints, and I can print things. And then just like one day he comes up and he's like, hey, I bought you a printer. Yeah, that's typically how we do presents. So that's why I was like, I didn't feel bad giving him his Christmas present early, because it's just like, that's just what we do. We don't really do like, oh, it's your birthday, here's a gift thing anymore. It's just like, here's a gift. So I have been going ham on bookmarks, and I have made a bunch of them. Look at them, and they're also all hollow, every single one of them. And they're very sturdy, they're very shiny, and they're very rainbowy. And here's the back. Can you hold on? Which one is this? Oh, this is the stars one. Next strategy is legit gorgeous. Thank you. The colors are insane. I don't know. I might have to post them in the Discord for you to really see it, the difference in person. But I have some prints from Walmart and I think it was Walgreens. And this one you'll definitely be able to tell on stream the difference, because like the color is so stark. So here's Walgreens, and then here's mine, this printer. Yeah, you can't really tell on stream. I'll post it in the Discord later if you guys remind me. But it's so much sharper of like details. The color is so much more accurate, and like it's just overall so much better. And the Walgreens one was decent. This one, the top is Walgreens, the bottom is mine. So there's a color difference. The bottom one's darker. There's more contrast. The details are sharper. And you can actually like see the pencil strokes, like especially on the white. They're the same picture. I know it's really hard to I'll post it in the Discord, because I was talking with my brother about it and I sent him pictures. And you can see it a bit better in the pictures. But like the color quality, like it's so much better. Like that looks exactly like the drawing that I did. It looks exactly like it. And then also, because I bought hollow paper, I had to test it out. And I think some of y'all have already seen it, but I added hollow. It's so hard to see on stream, but there are hollow rainbow stars. Man, I wish you could see it on stream better, but it looks really cool in person, I will say. Everything looks better in person. Everything looks like shit on stream. But yeah, so I made a bunch of bookmarks, and I've been testing prints, and that's what I've been doing so far with my printer, and it's been a lot of fun, just printing them out and making rainbows and everything. And actually, Alexander's really excited because the like flat regular rainbow hollow. Which one has that? Here. Might be hard to see on stream because it's so reflective, but here you can kind of see like there's a rainbow on it. He's like, oh my god, it's like Yu-Gi-Oh cards. So this one's probably his favorite. How hologram? Did you say it was the paper? No. So I put it away because I'm a good person. I bought, it's double-sided glossy paper. So that's how the bookmarks are printed on both sides. That's just one sheet. And then I have, oof, hopefully that wasn't too loud. This laminate that is, it has the hollow in it. This one's probably like the worst example to show because that one's the, here, try this one. Can you see that better on stream? This one's got stars. You can maybe kind of see that one a little bit. So I put that on top, and I actually found a tutorial of how to like do all this stuff. Nina, I don't know. But so the person that I watched recommended to have a laminator. That's the word. And actually, what you do is you cut out the, or you have the bookmark paper and you have the bookmarks on printed on the sheet, and then you put this with the still like not sticky on top, feed it through, and then once it gets almost to the end, you cut off the paper at the bottom, and then you can have the sticky on top, and then you can flip it over, and then you just peel it, and then it just sucks it through, and then you don't get any bubbles. And then after that, I do another layer of lamination, and these bookmarks, I'm telling y'all, it is so, like, they are so nice. They are like, so loud. But you could like smack some ass with these bookmarks, okay? There you go. These are nice bookmarks. I did not expect it to be that loud. I don't know how loud it was on stream. Point made. But yeah, so these are really nice. I did have some misprint, and by misprint I mean I cut them badly. So there is like an oops pile that I've started. Where's Rosario when you need her? I know. So I do have, I put them separate because I don't want to mix them up. But one of them is significantly shorter because Alexander was playing with the laminate. And he's like, what happens if I try and take it off? So this is what happens if you try and take it off. We have to cut it off. So it's significantly shorter. But yeah. So this is like the oops pile right now. But I thought we could do a little gift giving. So if anybody wants a bookmark, I will happily mail out a bookmark. And yeah, you can just let me know which one you want. You can check out the shop for all the options. And no charge because y'all are awesome. Okay, we won't even do a giveaway thing. Like a giveaway thing, because like I'll just give them to whoever. Because I'm more so just making these for fun right now. Like this isn't, I'm trying to make money off of this. This is just like, I get to make bookmarks, this is so much fun. But yeah, so I think that's kind of all the new updates. We went through all the Christmas presents, the printer, the bookmarks. So yeah, so once again, check it out. Oh, also this table is new, which is very exciting. So, because I got this table so I wouldn't have to sew on the floor, because wait, we keep going. We keep going. There's my sewing machine right here. So I don't have to be on the floor anymore. Because I was hurting my back because I'm old. So, there we go. Good news all around. But how's everybody doing? What's new? How's life? What are all the things? Alright, let me move all of this stuff. I was thinking we could do some bookmark design today. I had an idea and I thought y'all would like it. My desk is an absolute mess because I have all these like crafting on here. I still have the rope on here because I'm making another one for a friend of mine, and then I have yarn up here because I was trying to make a thing irrelevant from Christmas stuff. Oh, thank you. Was that a lefty sewing machine? I think it's just like a regular one. I don't know. It's that. So, I do like that. I think all the ones that I see are on this side. So like the machine part is on the right. So this isn't flipped. So this is the right. There we go. But I'd be happy to mail you the oops pile that I got if you want a bunch, sir. Yeah, that's our normal. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't even know they had them on the other side, but that makes sense that they would do that. But yeah, I'm just making them for fun right now, so don't worry about the money stuff. But yeah, I thought we could do a bookmark designed specifically for bookmarks, and I had an idea for it already. I didn't sketch anything out though, so it's gonna be a completely blank canvas. We can discuss terms later. Oop, that is the wrong window. Please hold. That is my blue sky. I had a feeling that was gonna happen today. I was like, it's gonna show the wrong one, isn't it? This one? There we go. That's the window. Wait, why isn't the God damn it. The bottom bar is not Halloween. How come that? Goodness gracious. I need to check things beforehand. There. Okay, we good. Move my water. Let's take a drink. And then just move more stuff. Hold on, I need to get my tablet over here, get my tablet pen, and I think you're all good to go. Yeah, so I've had mostly good news with all this stuff. There we go. So it's kind of split in half there. So the idea that I had was, let me do this. I thought it would be cute to have like a sun, and then we're at like a beach, and then there's like umbrella, that's an umbrella, and then like a chair, that's a chair, and then some sort of land ocean related animal reading a book, like like a seal or something. What do seals look like? Yeah, is that a seal? There you go. I don't know what they look like. And then the other half of the bookmark could be underwater. There's some water. Actually, let's go like that. And then like, I don't know, some coral. This is coral, right? And then you can have like an underwater animal reading a book, like, I don't know, a shark or something. That's a shark. That's a shark. That was the idea. So I didn't know if y'all wanted to pick out the animals that would be above and below water, but I just thought that would be like a cute little bookmark idea. That's what I was thinking. That's where my brain was at. So feel free to let me know. Oh, also I need to quick save this, so please hold. No sneaky peeky at my files. I don't even know what folder was gonna open in. Go here. Go here. We'll call this 2025 10 19. Bookmark water design? Question mark? I don't know what to call it. Alright, then we'll put it back. Okay, cool. So we'll call that the border, I guess. And concept. Then we have sketch layer. Oh, Nina, I don't know if you were here, but I was saying I would mail out a bookmark if anybody wanted one. A sexy bear? Shaved? You want me to shave the bear? Why would I do that? The poor thing. It needs that from, like, sun protection and stuff. And then it would just be like, it'd be so sad. What do bears look like? I need to look it up. Alright, we could do a bear at the otherwise he'd be sweating to death. It's not like too... What's the temperature actually? It's been so up and down. It's been very upsetting. I was so excited because last week it was getting really cold. Okay, we're getting back to being cold. As you can tell, I'm in like summer outfit because I'm like I'm both hot and cold right now. It's very upsetting. But I also just took a shower, so that's probably why. But it is 55 right now. And in not culture, what should I say? Proper temperature, it's 13 degrees Celsius. That's pretty cool. It's a little chilly. It's a little chilly. Alexander is completely bundled up from head to toe. He was shivering yesterday. We were outside and he had 2 layers of pants on. I didn't even know he had 2 layers of pants on. I thought he had just one, and he was shivering so bad. I felt bad, but also I was like, oh my god. You can take the girl out of Florida. You would think that this would be cold for me though. Like, I should be cold right now. I should be freezing. But I'm not. I feel like I've been running hotter. Am I getting like early menopause? That would suck. I hope not. It runs in my family though. Alright, let me look up bear pictures. And hopefully none of them will be AI. Bear. Do you have a preference of bear? Grizzly bear? Black bear? Is there any other kind of bear? You can't do a polar bear, that doesn't make sense. I'm not drawing a panda, because fuck pandas. Just get oil checked? Yeah, that's probably it. Oh, there are different bears. You have a cave bear. Oh, it's extinct. I was like, ooh. You have a speckled bear. A sloth bear. Is that like from Avatar? A water bear. Haha. Yeah, there's really not that many bears, apparently. Okay, that explains why I can't think of that many. Because, like, if you had to say, it's like, okay, polar bear, black bear, grizzly bear, which is also like the brown bear, and then a giant tiger. That would be terrifying. We actually just looked at pictures of them recently, too. They do, like, they simultaneously look cute, but also terrifying. Alright, let's do grizzly bear. That's pretty classic bear. You're only getting so many votes and decisions. Let's do, see if we can find it laying on its back. Laying on back. Oh, he's so fat. It was Fat Bear Week recently. Did you guys vote at all? I voted on 2 of them. One of them was like clearly fatter than the other. I'm like, but it was losing. I'm like, how is it losing? It was fatter. Doesn't make any sense. Oh my god. These bears on their backs look so comfortable. You only learned about that last night? Oh. I don't even know who won. I didn't keep up with it. But my feed was full of just Fat Bear Week for so long. And then somebody was like, y'all need to go vote for this one because she should win. And when I clicked on their link, like, it went to a different one. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll vote while I'm here. But I hope the one that they wanted to win won. I should probably also, I want to look up beach chair and umbrella. God damn it. Why did you do this to me? There we go. Beach chair and umbrella. Images. Ooh, should the bear be facing the water? Because my first thought was it facing you. So maybe it should be facing like towards the water. Wouldn't that make more sense? I don't know, actually. Which way should we have the bear face? Because we could have it like that way. That's a chair. And then like that. Or we could have it, you like that? Facing away. Okay. Looking out over the coral reef. Aww. That'd be cute. Okay, hold on. Hey, a different bear reference photo then. Where's like a... I might have to do some creative liberty. It's fine. I'll make it work. We're going for like kind of a cartoony-ish style anyway. It'll work out. Alright, I'm gonna get some drawing done. But then I figured I could tell some more stories. Because I still, after all this time, cannot talk and draw at the same time. I don't know why. Just my brain. But we went to language meetups yesterday, and we finally had the Japanese one. Because they like didn't tell me that they were doing it before, and they were like, "Oh, why didn't you show up?" It's like, well, nobody told me to show up. I didn't know. I'm sorry. That's a wave. Just pretend that's a wave. That is also a wave. We're gonna pretend that's a wave. Let's see. These are all. Do I want it? I don't know how much sky I want though. Versus. Okay, hold on. I'll make it the water a little bit more. And then we can have the umbrella breaking. Oh, hey. The umbrella could be like here. But yeah, so we showed up and I had only been to the Russian language meetup once. So I wasn't 100% sure what to expect other than like, okay, we're gonna be like having a conversation and speaking in Japanese, and there's probably gonna be like some people who are beginner should show up. That would make sense. But yeah, that's... And I show up and there are two other people, so it's myself, Alexander, and two other people, and Alexander is already like super crazy beginner. And the other two people knew less than him, and I was like, okay, we're gonna have to try and make this work. So I ended up having to do more teaching, which isn't exactly what I wanted, but I was like, oh, it is what it is, I guess. And then randomly some guy later came in and he spoke like pretty decent Japanese. I was so whiplashed because everybody was speaking English to me, and then all of a sudden this guy comes in and he just like starts speaking Japanese, and I'm just like, give me a second, my brain understood everything you said, but I need to like rewind and process, and okay, now we can have a conversation. It's like, okay. We took it together in college because he needed a language credit anyway, and since I was already learning it, he was like, okay, I guess I'll go for it. And he could have done Russian. I don't know if they would have been able to like spot him. It would have been like, I don't know if they, like, that. Can they prevent you from taking a language class if you're already fluent in it? I don't actually know. I'm sure you could like skip some if you're like somewhat familiar with the language. You could probably take like a test or something and be like, I'm this proficient, so like skip like 2 classes or something. But if you're already fluent, like, I mean, you would learn like how his language works. But like, I don't know. I don't know how that works. I feel like I've heard people doing that before though. Like they're already fluent in Spanish, but then they take Spanish for the credit. I don't know. Once upon a time they didn't care, they only offered placement sets if you want to take them. Okay. I've been out of college for a while and I didn't know any other language other than English at the time, so this wasn't something that I looked into. Here you get to take at least B2 level classes for internal exams, but then you could do whatever. Interesting. Interesting. But yeah, so he just ended up taking Japanese with me in college, and he did so well. I was so jealous. I'm like, I'm the one who wants to learn this language. What the fuck? Why do you get to learn it so much better and faster than me? But at the time, I didn't really understand the concept of like, if you know one language, like, it's like super easy to learn another. So like the more languages that you know, the easier it is to learn more languages. So your second language will always be your hardest. Well, technically, arguably, your first language is your hardest, but you don't remember it. So your second language then is your hardest. Then your third is a little bit easier. Your fourth, a little bit easier, kind of thing. But yeah, so didn't understand at the time, and I was just a jealous little bitch. You took B2 English, went for C1 next semester. I switched to remember in A2 German. Interesting. Ah, okay. I wish we had more language options available for like in college. There's a lot, but like it depends on the college. But for high school and even younger, I don't know about nowadays, but when I was in school, there were A1 classes too. Oh, that's so cute. But yeah, when I was in elementary school, hold on, I'm trying to think. We had I moved elementary schools like a couple of times, so I'm like, I don't remember which school it was, but one of them, it wasn't like a Spanish class, but we did have a Spanish teacher like come in and like teach us a couple, more so like words than anything else. So we learned like colors or numbers, and then my middle school, we did have Spanish, but I didn't want to learn Spanish. And like my only reasoning at the time for not wanting to learn Spanish was like, everyone else is learning Spanish. I don't want to learn Spanish. I want to be different. Just such a stupid reason. But that was me back then. I was such a rebel. If it was popular, I was like, no. Your English classes for vocabulary. Interesting. Depending on like the language, there are like different types of, or like you could get a major. Like at the college that I went to, if I had made Japanese my major, I could take like sort of adjacent, still Japanese language related classes, but were like more hyper specific. So like the calligraphy, there was a calligraphy class, there was like certain, I don't know, I don't think they had a translation class at the time, but just stuff like that. Language learning starting at 10 years old. That makes sense though. Like I wish that was the case. I feel like for Europe, and I'm sure like other places around the world, but I know most about Europe, that like they really push for learning multiple languages, and it's like here in the US we don't. And it sucks. And I think we're getting better about Spanish finally, but yeah, in my high school they had Spanish, French, and German. So I took German because it was the different one, and both of my brothers took German, and we had to have a 2-year language requirement. Yeah, I had to think there for a second. I'm like, yeah, 2-year language requirement. And I didn't want to learn French, and of course Spanish is the popular one, so I can't learn Spanish. So I took German. And then after I did my 2 years of German, the French teacher also knew Japanese, and so he offered to host a Japanese class. So I took the first year that he offered it. So I was a junior, and it was kind of bad. It was not the best class. A lot of my friends ended up like coming to me and like asking me for help with stuff because like he wasn't really doing that great of a job. And then I ended up not taking senior year any languages. And then all of my friends who were like, because we're all like weebs back then. And so they were like, oh, I want to learn Japanese. So they decided to keep going and went to like his second year. And then they all came to me and they're like, oh, such big regret. Ah, where's my mouse? There we go. Okay, scroll. So when you leave high school and go to college, you know at least one language in A2. So jealous. Like, we don't have the same kind of like push or encouragement. Like, we don't have the culture here. Like, I'm sure in some pockets, because America is so diverse, like you have, like if you're in a very Spanish speaking community or you're in a really like Chinese speaking community, like there's going to be some encouragement to learn either Spanish or English or Chinese or English, you know. But like in general, the country as a whole, zero interest, zero care, like zero program, zero funding, nothing for learning a second language. It's so frustrating. We offered French, German, and Spanish. A few years later, my brother got to take Japanese. Okay, that's cool. Like, I've heard that there's some places are starting to expand more. Like, my nephew, his school, like his students in his class are multilingual, and they really encourage that, which is nice. Your high school offered English, German, French, Italian, and later Spanish. Oh my god. Usually you had to pick English. That's a lot of places. In my class where I could choose between German and French. Yeah, that makes sense. But I know a little bit about Japan education, and I know that they have a lot of push to learn English, but their systems that they have in place right now aren't really great at like actually cultivating long-term recall and like use case. But that's kind of a lot of language classes and stuff, and just how we teach languages, which I feel like if I'm going to sit here on my soapbox, I would say that we don't teach language very well. Just in general. But yeah. I don't remember why I was talking about this. Oh, because we went to my language group. Right. So the guy came in and his Japanese was probably like the same as my level. So he was intermediate, and he mentioned that he was a teacher. He taught in Japan for a year, and so I was trying to balance speaking with him and then like explaining certain things, and then there was one lady there who was just like not talking at all, and I didn't really know what to do because like I'm technically the leader of the group, and so I asked them like if you guys have any feedback for what I should do, what you'd like to see, and then one of the guys told me that he's also in the Chinese conversation group, because for some reason there's like in this tiny little town in the middle of nowhere, there's a million different conversation groups. I don't know how that's possible, but he said that the people in the Chinese group, they're not fluent except for like one person, so she just ends up teaching. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'll end up teaching. So I went ahead and last night I was playing around with I didn't write this story, it's just from Tandoku, but which one is this? I made like a little printable, and I just copy pasted the story basically, and then I had to include a picture because the story doesn't make sense if you don't know the word. But there's this word right here which means like was troubled, so like the crane was having trouble eating the food, and like if you don't have a visual, that's just a really hard word and concept to understand. So, and then I added a little vocab bank, and I left it blank on purpose because I thought like, okay, let's see how many words like people are going to be able to get from context. So I'm gonna experiment trying to teach at this Japanese language group. But we'll see how it goes. I chose German. I remember you mentioning that, yeah. Getting back to English and German, yeah. At the time, they were experimental grades. Different language. Gotcha. It was like 18 years ago. I know that. They're offering English in preschool. That's cool though. I like that. I wish we had Spanish that early here. And actually, in the Russian group, after it was over and we were just kind of like chatting outside the library, we were like wondering like what's the most spoken language, like the most spoken languages in the world, and obviously English is number one, but then I think number two was Chinese, and then Hindi. I don't remember the exact order, but Spanish was high up there, and then French, and then Arabic. I think, if I remember right, or something like that. And I was just kind of joking with it. I'm like, Japanese is like all the way on the floor. Because like Spanish and French make sense to be so high, because Spanish, you have the Americas, and then you have Spain, obviously, and then they probably speak a little bit of Spanish just around Spain. And then French makes sense because you have obviously France, but then you also have Africa, like North Africa, and then Canada. And yeah, because we were just talking about like what other languages we would want to learn, and so I was like, oh, I'd like to learn Mandarin. I need to make this like way long. I want to make it super obvious. He's reading a book. What would like a bear? How would a bear hold a book actually? If Japanese is on the floor, then Polish is like the Earth's core, bro. How many? Wait, hold on. Now I gotta look it up. Number of native Polish speakers. 39.7 million. Number of native Japanese speakers. Oh, okay. 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 Apparently so. I would have thought there would be more. But I guess not. Okay. Actually, you would think Russian would be kind of high. Because you have Russia, but then you have like the neighboring previous USSR countries. How did I get... My pen got tangled in my hair. That probably all speak Russian. But bears don't have thumbs, right? 104 million people in Russia, or just like in the world? Because in the world that seems small. Because Japanese is more than that. In Russia, okay, that makes more sense. I was gonna say. But I guess I'll put the hand behind the book. That probably makes more sense. And then little feetsies. This will be cute. I just want to make sure it's like you can tell it's a bear from behind. That's the main concern. But actually, I feel like I did pretty well with my Russian yesterday. I was feeling pretty good. And we had a new guy show up that I haven't seen before. He wasn't new, but I hadn't met him before. And it's interesting to me, like the difference of like how Russian sounds to me from like different levels and types of speakers. I don't know actually if he was a native speaker, because he said he was from Kazakhstan. Oh my god. And so I don't know if he was a native speaker or not, but I could, he pronounced like, his pronunciation, like enunciation was very clear to me. But there's this other guy, did I tell you all about him? The creep dude who shows up. Oh my god, I hate this man. He's so annoying and so rude. And like, he was so gross with me, kind of, like, not, like, I don't want to like oversell it, but like, he was just kind of like a little bit of a creep to me yesterday. And like when I first met him, he seemed like really off-putting to me. Like he didn't want to like answer questions, and then he didn't want to talk to me, and I also can't understand like how, like what he's saying to me, even though I feel like I should. But the way that he speaks, it's just really hard for me to understand. And anyway, yesterday, because we had the Japanese right before, I had my purse, I took off my purse because it was like pulling on me. And so I put it on the chair next to me. There was like 2 other people there. They weren't even sitting anywhere near me. It was fine. So come Russian, he comes in, and he's always been like hyper focused on me. Like when I told him I was a translator, like he was just like, and I'm like, you know, like give me some personal space. I don't know. I felt uncomfortable. So he comes in, he walks around the table, sees my purse next to me, and he does the correct thing, which then he sits in the next chair. And I'm like, thank the Lord for my purse. Then later, one of the precious old lady, I don't remember if I mentioned her on stream before, love her. She is so sweet, so precious. She just had surgery. and then she just got hurt recently, and I felt so bad for her. Anyway, I was so glad to see her because I hadn't seen her in a little while. And I was like, oh my god, so I moved my purse because I was like, you know, sit next to me, please. Like, you know, I love you. Like, we're great. We're besties. She's like this, like, woman in her 70s or something, and she's learning Russian, and she's so sweet. And I'm like, here, you know, take this seat next to me. The Russian guy gets mad at me because he's like, what, now she comes in, she can sit next to you, but I can't sit next to you? I was like, dude, you are never sitting next to me. What the hell? It was just really uncomfortable. But she thankfully sat next to me, so it worked out. So I was like, please leave me alone. I don't like you. There were so many chairs. So many chairs. And it's just like, I don't want him to show up. He was supposed to not show up that often. The last time he was there, like, you could tell everybody doesn't like him. And so it's not just me. Nobody likes this man. And like, the first time I meet him, like, he starts talking about Trump. What are you doing? And then I could tell that Alexander was getting agitated with him too, because like his body, like, I know Alexander by now, and his like body language and tone changed. So even if it was in Russian and like he was speaking quickly, so I couldn't understand him, it was like, I know he's mad. Like, I know this guy rubbed him the wrong way. And so the second time this guy comes in, he brings up Trump again. What are you doing? This guy. Anyway, so he's supposed to not come that often, because that's what they said the first time that he came after he left, and then we all started gossiping about how we don't like him. And then this one lady's like, oh, don't worry, he doesn't show up that often. And he comes again. I just learned the police department in Texas just revealed the new mascot. It's a dog. It's just a dog fursuit. What? Why? Don't they kill dogs? We call the cup dogs derogatory. Yeah, they're pigs here in English. Or not in English, they're pigs here in America. Like, why would... I don't know. Oh, this guy was a native Russian speaker. The douchebag. I wanted to paint something in silver. My silver paint just can't get out of the tube. No! But yeah, he's a native Russian speaker. And there was the guy from the Japanese conversation group decided to stay to just try out the Russian group. So he knows, you know, Privyet, and, you know, that's kind of it. He picked up words pretty quickly though, which is cool. But he mentioned to the Russian guy, like, oh, I don't speak Russian, I don't know any Russian. And so he's like, oh, of course you know Russian. And he says a sentence at him. And the sentence is just President Trump, or Trump is the president of the United States, something like that. And so it's kind of like a somewhat innocuous sentence, but like, you could have said any sentence, you know? And the point was like, oh, you already know like some of the words in that sentence. But like, to someone who doesn't understand the Russian accent, and like, you would probably just hear Trump and nothing else. Like, I know what he said, but like, this guy doesn't. And I'm like, you could teach him anything. So I just interrupted him, and I was like, oh, you probably know Privyet. Privyet is like an easier word to know. He's like, oh yeah, I know Privyet. So the conversation thankfully changed, but it's just, oh, like, why? What's the thing with school? Let's go. Oh, wrong tab. Here we go. Anyway, I just don't like him. He gives off bad vibes. Oh, this, oh no. What? Huh? Oh no. Oh, it's not even like good. Like, no offense to the maker, but like some parts, like you can tell like you put some effort in, but some other parts it's just like you did not. And oh, why does it look like that? You could have just made it look like a normal dog fursuit. Why did you make it look like that? Oh, I don't like insulting people's art, but like, you know, it's for a cop, so that's allowed, right? Like, sorry. It's not even like, that's clearly not the first fursuit that they've made. Like that, there's parts that look good. But like, I've seen people whose first fursuit looks better than that. I'm just, okay, I'll stop. I won't say anymore. Oh, did we know what animal we're putting in the water, by the way? Do we want a shark or do we want a different animal? Anyway, so that was the Russian yelp. Yes. See? I put more effort into that. Let's be real. Let's be real. I'm so glad you remember that. You will be like forever the only one who remembers that. Oh my god, wait. Oh no. It's still gotta be up on my DeviantArt. Hold on. This is 100% up your alley. Wait, let me look. Let me look. When did I do this? I must have been in high school? I don't even know what tag to search for. It might be in my scraps. My dad asked me to do a drawing and I just like, listen, when you raise your child with pranks and all you do is you prank your child and you make everything out to be like silly games, what do you expect? Okay? I will prank and do silly games back. So when you ask me for a drawing, I'm going to give you a drawing, okay? Just like I will decorate your suitcase. Oh, I found it. I found it. Oh my god, when did I post this? Okay, I was in high school. Ooh, I need to remove that. Hold on, I need to edit the description. It gives away some personal information I shouldn't have posted. Okay. Hold on, I need to... Before anyone goes to find it, I need to add some privacy, aka... anything else? Oh my god, why I gave out so much information that I should not have, especially for what that was. Something, I'm just trying to make sure it's like private. I think that's okay. I'm just gonna take out the name. Okay. So he asked me for, they have a tracking system for criminals and they had a new label that they added and they wanted an artwork to go along with it, and that was what I gave my dad. Don't ask me why I did this. I have no memory of why I did this. I don't think there was a why. I think it was just like, this would be funny. So I gave that to my dad. He did this. I'm gonna blame him, okay? He raised me. Alright, description I think is redacted enough. Just make sure there's like nothing else in the replies. I love that. Put a mature label on that thing, girl. My eyes are bleeding. Anyway. This is, okay, it's his fault. 100%. Take responsibility for raising me. Alright. Back to art. Back to drawing. Make this bear a little bit bigger here. You would think. Yep. But no. And then so obviously when he asked me to do art later, I'm gonna give him butt. Alright? But I've learned I'm not doing any more art for this man. I've done enough. He is such a pain in the ass to work for. Never work for family. Never do it. It's not worth it. I don't care how good terms you are with them. Just don't do it. Alright, should we do a chair too for underwater? I think we're gonna have like it facing the opposite way. Like that. And then like that's the top of the water. I like how it's literally been an hour and this is what I've drawn. To be fair, I started a little bit later because I was showing off all the Christmas gifts, but I'm being very slow today. Alright, so what animal shall we do? And then I should also look up, because I want to find coral reefs. Coral reefs. Okay. So I guess, how should I do this? Because it's kind of like gonna fade, but then I have to change the perspective of the chair. BRB, that's fine. I will be here. That, and then we like a little bit more up. And then there's these ones that are like wiggly. And then we do some rocks. And then you have these ones. What else we got? There's like these wiggly ones. Probably should, hold on, make it bigger. They're so colorful. If y'all want some like good vibes YouTube channel to follow, I would definitely recommend Mossy Earth. They're doing a coral reef restoration project. They do several different projects, but one of them is coral reef restoration, which is actually really cool. What they did is they built these metal like wires. If you've ever seen like the jungle gym things, they're like spherical that kids play on and stuff. It looks kind of like that, but just flattened. And then they tie on little pieces of coral reef, and because that's how coral reef spread, they kind of work like succulents, where like a little piece falls off and then that makes a new one. So they tie on little pieces of coral reef, and then they just keep checking on it and do maintenance and stuff like that. And it's gotten kind of big-ish now for how short of time it was. I didn't know coral reefs actually like, or like coral grows like, I think it grows like super slow, but it seems kind of fast for how big they got, for how little time passed. But they are already getting fish and stuff. It's really cool. So fish are moving in. So if you want some good news, good feels sort of stuff, definitely check out Mossy Earth, but their website's mossy.earth. But they do lots of projects of, another one they're doing just recently that they posted about was, oh god, what country was it? Was it Greenland? It's one of those northern European ones. I don't remember which one. But they're doing tree planting. It's the country that has those purple flowers, the famous purple flowers. Iceland? I think it's Iceland. Right? They're not native, the flowers. They're really pretty though. I'm just kind of drawing shapes right now just to get the vibe. Okay. Maybe we can have like a shell. That kind of looks like a whole fish. Ooh, we can have like little fish swimming around. Nope, that's, hold on a second. There we go. Little goldfish swimming. This will look so cute. Okay, what animal should we have for our underwater? Do we want a shark or do we want something else? Decisions, decisions. Ooh, if I'm having fish, I should have birds on the other side. There we go. And then maybe like... Yeah, there we go. Fill in that space more. Yes! Iceland. Okay, I was right. I love that you just caught. Oh yeah, okay. Google seems to think it's Iceland. Yes. That's the one. That's the one where they're replanting the trees that they had there. Apparently they have some crazy deserts there. Squid or octopus? I mean, an octopus would be a little cute because at least it has like all the... It could hold multiple books! I would touch my hand to my face, but now I'm getting cold, so now I probably want to put on my jacket, but like... It's post-shower enough that now I'm actually getting cold. Also, isn't this so cute? It's got little bears on it. And it's so soft and like stretchy. I got it at Walmart. I'm so excited for snow. I keep like looking outside and I'm like, I don't see it. I don't understand how there could just be snow. But then like the colors are changing, the leaves are changing. And I mentioned this on Blue Sky, but like I saw an orange, like a completely orange tree the other day. And I was like, what? For several kids. Oh. Oh. Okay, let's try it. Let's try it. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Where are the eyes on the octopus? They're towards the bottom, right? So it'd be like you'd have the blub, and then you have maybe where would I put the kids though? Aren't baby octopuses like that? They're like, I need to look this up. This is for research. It's very important research. It's very related. Hold on, baby octopus. It's extremely important to. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. Look at this. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh no. Oh no, wait a minute, look at this one. Wait a minute. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's so small. No. That's not real. That's not a real picture. I don't believe that one. Oh my god. Oh, no, that's not real. Oh. Wait a minute. Look at this picture. Look at this picture. Hold on. Look at that. Oh my god. The research is for research. It's so cute. Okay. You could maybe like have them like floating around. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. That's so cute. Holy shit. They're so tiny. They're so small. Look at, okay, this one's probably my favorite picture. That's ridiculous. That's so cute. I want one. Can I have one as a pet? We're gonna just leave that on here. We're just gonna put that right there. Oh, the bright fish. We're gonna put this right here for research. It's reference. It's reference. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. They're so small. Okay. Nina's gonna come back and be like, what the hell? Okay. Oh crap, hold on, I closed the wrong tab. No, go back to the coral reefs. There we go. Okay. Goodness gracious. Okay, so I think it'll be cute to have them just kind of like that. I don't even know how much you would see. Hold on, let me grab a bookmark. Because how big? Oh, actually, on my screen, this is about the exact size. Welcome back. I am just literally holding up the bookmark to the screen to try and see if you would even see these details. I think you would. Because it fits almost perfectly. What is it on the screen? What does it look like? Alright, so I'll put like 3 of them. And then, so hold on, I want to move the arm. And then, so there's 8, right? So, like teeny baby, they are! it's for study, very serious. Okay, here's one book. And then, that's an arm. And then, okay, I gotta do that. Maybe I should just draw the books. Hold on. That would be 6, right? We gotta do the math. That's six arms, and then there's 2 extra. So we just maybe just chilling right there. And then yeah, I think that's the idea. I know, I was like crying earlier. I'm like, they're so cute. Donnie was the one who said octopus. And then he suggested like it could be reading to baby octopuses. I'm like, oh my gosh. That's another shell. These are shells. Oh my god, have you guys ever seen scallops before? Like when they were alive? They're actually, it's kind of wild, really. Because they have like a bunch of these blue eyes around the edge of the shell. They're kind of cute. I've gone scalloping a couple times with my parents, and Alexander came with us to one of them. And it is kind of fun, if you just don't think about it. Because, I mean, you do eat them, but it is really funny and cool to see how they swim, though. They swim by closing and opening really quickly, and then they like kind of shoot out like little jet streams. So if you spook them, because they're usually like sitting in like little seaweed bunches, and you'll see like the millions of blue eyes just like looking at you. And so if you kind of get too close, sometimes they'll just be like, and they close like so fast. And then other times, if you like spook them, then they'll just like go like this. It's really cute. Then you have to like chase after them and grab them. It was a very fun activity, but also just, I don't know. At least they tasted good though. Alright. I think this is okay. So we have the top of the water, we have like the light from the sun coming in because we have the sun from over here, right? And then we have the birds, and then we have the fish. Should there be anything in the distance for the underwater? Because you kind of don't really see much. Hold on, looking at pictures. It kind of just like gradually fades. So I could probably just add like more stuff and you just kind of like see less and less. Maybe? Alright, I think I need to make the octopus a little bit bigger though, so it kind of matches the bear in size. And that's the concept we are going for the bookmark. And I think it'll be very cute. Alright, move this just a little bit. We'll get started on the bear. I think we're good. I'll move the fish though, because that's too close to the edge. There we go. I learned a bit of the hard way that I need to leave a little bit more bleed than I was expecting. So I accidentally cut these too long, and they didn't fit in an envelope. So I was glad that I tested that, because I have the envelope, the 4x6 that Emil prints in, and so I had to like recut them and it worked out, but you know. But it's hard not to play with them because they're so shiny and so, like, you know, they're so nice. They're so nice. I didn't really know what art to put on them too, so they're kind of just like whatever stuff, whatever I had. And I only have one of these because I kind of screwed up the other one, so I gave it to my mom. This way. And then also on this one, can you see it? Wait, hold on. It's kind of hard to get it on stream, but it has stars. It has hollow stars, I swear. Because it's a space. It's a space bookmark. Oh my god. Like, bruh. This is so upsetting. It looks so nice in person. And then, yeah, so that one, what was the other one that I did? Oh, was it this one? Oh no, that was the one that I gave to my mom, but there's ones that have like a bunch of dots. If you can kind of see. I think this one's the easiest to see. But it looks kind of like snow. So I did that on this one, for the one I sent my mom. But this one, I have the fragmented ones, and it kind of looks like ice. So I thought that was cool. So it's like frosted over, like you're looking through a window or something. And then also, for the kitty cat one, I did stars on that one, and it kind of looks like it's looking at space. If you could see the stars! But it's very cute. And so I was like, I need to make more art so I can make more bookmarks, like for no other reason. And they go like pretty fast. So like I get sad when I finish making them because it's like, it's over. I need to make more. That's why it's like, if you guys want a bookmark, let me know. And then I can mail you out more, and then I have an excuse to make more. So, do I need to run a giveaway, or else are you guys not going to want to do it? Here, I will do a giveaway. We will reset. And we will set the timer for 19 minutes because that's what came up. There you go. There y'all go. And I will give the winner a bookmark and the hollow print with the stars. You can kind of see that one a little bit. Maybe. I swear there's hollow stars on this print. So there you go. Incentive, since y'all are so hard to give free gifts. Now you can be like, oh, I have a chance to win. It's different. So you can pick whatever bookmark you want, and you also get the hollow print. Okay? Okay? So enter the raffle to win, or for a chance to win. There you go. Okay. Back to our bear friend. But yeah, these have been so much fun to make. And actually my brother like keeps messaging me about this printer. I think my brother wants the printer too. This is the fourth printer on my wall to be a Marine, so see whatever said. That's funny. Do you not have this one yet? I feel like I've had this artwork for so long as a print. I feel like everybody's gonna have it at some point. At this point. But now this one's different. It's special. So, and the colors, I think this is the first time that, because this one is a really weird color. Like the colors are really weird. I think this is the first print that I've had where this actually looks like the colors in the sketchbook. Like the color accuracy on this printer. I didn't mention which printer it was, sorry. It is an Epson ET2800. Just like the alien. Oh. But yeah, so it's that printer. And the colors are just crazy. Oh no! I'm sorry, sir. If you missed it, we're doing a raffle to win a hollow print. If you'd like to win a print and a bookmark. Just do exclamation point raffle like what Dina did. But I'm sorry, it's not working. I'm not dropping frames, am I? I don't think so. Okay. Well, I'm sorry. Hopefully it starts being less poopy soon. Alright. Forgot what I was talking about. Oh, just the printer. The color accuracy is like crazy. And I did, what other prints did I do so far? I think I only did 1 or 2 test sheets. I did, oh no, I did like 3 test sheets. Yeah, because I did this cat, which is a popular one that I've had before. And like just the depth too of like the contrast is so nice. And then I don't know, it's crazy. Some of them are a little bit more subtle. Like I did the chicken one. Here, hold on. Get out of here. This was, I think this was also Walgreens. But this one is kind of hard to see the difference. Remind me and I'll post the pictures in Discord. But the Walgreens one is like a little bit warmer. But it did that with the owl one too. It made the owl like redder. I don't know why. So we have to, okay, that's good. Yeah, I'm super happy with that. And then also this printer is supposed to be like really long lasting for the ink too. And for like the cost of the ink and the cost of the printer, like I don't think it's a bad deal. And when I looked it up on the Artist Alley Network International, did they change their name recently? I don't know, but it's there used to be a Facebook group, now they're a Discord group of artists to do like conventions and stuff. But if you just do anything in terms of like producing art, I would definitely recommend just joining the Discord anyway, because they can help you out with commission prices, with production, like where to get anything manufactured. So even if like you're not doing conventions, but you maybe want to sell stickers or something at home, like they can really help out with that. The fact that the quality is comparable on stream is a compliment to your pictures quality. Yeah, it's nuts. Actually, let me just share the pictures now so I don't forget. Let me see, y'all. Because I labeled them. Oh my god, the dog is just, it's so messed up. Okay. So let me grab the notes that I sent my brother at the same time. So let me copy paste that. And then, because I didn't label the first one, so let me, come on, copy text. There we go. Okay, yeah, first one is Walgreens, yes. And then this one, go grab that. So I'm posting them in the Discord now so you can hopefully see them better side by side. But it's nuts. Just like how like these little differences make such a big difference with the prints. So now I have all these other old prints and now I feel bad if I were to sell them. Because like, I mean that also makes me feel bad for like prints that I've sold in the past. And I'm like, damn, like the ones I've sold in the past, like they could have been nice. Now I feel a little bit bad, but I mean, there's, if you see them in isolation, like the Walgreens ones and the Walmart ones are still nice, but then when you compare it though, like side by side, then that's when you see the difference. But if you just like have it hanging on your wall, like I don't think it's like huge difference, but like if you're really nitpicky, then I can, yeah. But so I don't know if I want to still sell the old prints or not, or if I would like just, I don't know what to do with them yet. We'll see. I'm still thinking about it. Don't want to do anything digitally right now. Need to search for my other work of craft projects. Gotcha. I feel you. I feel you. That's kind of partially also why I've been kind of slow in the stream. Is like just doing art has been kind of still slow. I've been having more fun with the sewing and now the printing, but it's like I can't print more bookmarks until I get more art, you know, so gotta do what you gotta do. Nice. But yeah, very, very happy with Sprint Choice. And now she's kind of like, I want to print a bunch of stuff and do a bunch of things, but I don't know. I don't know what to do yet. But then I'm also now trying to finish also my dad's Christmas gift, which is still coming out very nice. I'm also excited about that. There's so many things to be excited by, because I'm also excited about making a rope bowl for my friend for her Christmas present. I'm not excited though about this cardigan, which I'm still slowly working my way through it. I did finish the sleeves, and now I'm just working on the pumpkin stems. And I just kind of don't. I'm being lazy. Put that line back there. Let's see how much of this I can kind of get away with doing on one layer. But I also have the Washi Ween artworks too, and I do have them thumbnailed. So we'll see how it's gonna go this week. I also don't know if I'm gonna get work this week, because I just turned in last week's work, and I seem to get work every other week, which is kind of working out for my schedule right now. So I hope this is a week off in a way, because then I can like try and catch up with other things. And ooh, I am reading, I haven't even talked about this. Oh my god. I'm reading another Scary Stories book. If y'all remember, I didn't stream last October, so y'all wouldn't have heard about it then. But if you remember from 2 years ago, this is the book that I've been reading every October, or the series that I've been reading every October, which if you know, pretty much most people know Goosebumps. So it's kind of like that. But if you know Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, which is a little bit more niche, you've probably seen the artwork. If you Google image search Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, it's terrifying. The artwork is gorgeous, so well done, but also so terrifying. But the stories in the book were just like very mid, like kind of thing. Like the scary aspect of the book was definitely the art for sure. But in Japanese, they have their own version of Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. However, it is the complete opposite. The artwork is very cute, but these stories are very terrifying. Although, unfortunately, in this particular one that I'm reading, it's not as scary as I was hoping it to be. But one of them was pretty decently spooky, and I don't know if you guys wanted to hear my retelling of it, because I don't have the book released in English, which is a shame. At least no, I got the miles away. Shut up. But you came just in time for spooky story time. Let me pull up my notes. Gotta go and search for a BRB. Okie dokie. Let me... Okay. So the story... Let me take a drink of water first. So the story... We have to have at least one spooky story for a Halloween stream, right? It's called The Money Tree. Ooh. Ooh. So once upon a time, there was this girl whose name is Akane. And she is not like the richest girl. She's like pretty average, you know. She's not like poor, but she's not doing, like her family's not like great. Like if she wants to buy a video game, she can't just go out and get it, right? She's got a budget. It's very unfortunate, very sad. And she's, I think like 13 or something. So it's very sad for a 13-year-old to not be able to get the latest video game. And she is friends with Julie. And Julie is fucking loaded. Like her parents have so much money. Her house is huge. Her room is huge. She has every brand of every clothing ever. Every day she wears a different outfit. Total tragedy. I know it's so sad. Every day she wears a different outfit. And just recently she was in Hawaii and all her friends were like, oh my god, that must have been like such an insane trip. And Julia's like, I'm just so bored of it. I've been to Hawaii so many times now. I don't know. I'm just like, there's nothing new there, you know? Like, she has done it all. And Akane's sitting there, and all of her friends are gushing. They're at Julie's house. and all of her friends are just gushing over Juliet and everything that's like, even just the room that they're sitting in, loaded. And they turn to her and her friends and are like, oh my god, Akane, didn't you wear that same skirt yesterday? What? And Julia's like, well, guys, it is a cute skirt, okay? So Julia's not a bitch, alright? She's fine. She's good. And so then Julia's like, you know what, guys? Do you want to see something? The secret to our success? We actually got this as a sort of leftover gift from the people who used to live in this house, who disappeared mysteriously, but it's fine. Surely that won't come back up later. And, you know, ever since we had this gift, like, we've just been so lucky. Things have just been so good for us. So let me just go and get it. So everybody's waiting in the living room for Julia to come back to bring this amazing thing. And she comes back, and she's holding a bonsai tree. And it is the most ugliest ass bonsai tree you will have ever seen. It's completely dead. There's no leaves. It's not even in a nice shape. If you know anything about bonsai trees, like, y'all be careful looking into it because people get really obsessed. And like there's this weird sort of not carved, but like, you know how sometimes trees have like shapes and like knots and holes and stuff? And this bonsai tree had what looked like a screaming face on its trunk. So it's a very ugly tree. And everybody even says that. They're like, yo, like they try to be nice because she's super rich and they want to be on her good side. So they're like, oh wow, that's a tree. Look at that tree. Wow, you have a tree. And Julia's like, I know, isn't it so great? And it's just, you know, we've been so lucky ever since we had this tree, and it's like been changing our lives. And they, you know, they kind of didn't really go too much deep into it, and then everybody eventually left, and it's fine. So Akane goes back to her house that is not a mansion, and is very small, and she has a very tiny room with not every brand of clothing. And she's just depressed. She's like, oh my god, I did wear my skirt 2 days in a row. This is really embarrassing. And she goes to her balcony in her room, and it's kind of like nighttime now. And lo and behold, what does she find? It's the bonsai tree. What is it doing there? Who put it there? Why is it there? The question is never answered. Spoilers. But the bonsai tree is there on her balcony. And she's like, what the fuck? I didn't ask for this. This ugly ass tree. But something is on the tree. It looks like a folded up little note. And she's like, interesting, what is that? So she pulls off the note, and it is, I'll have to translate because it's like 10,000 yen, which is like, let's just pretend it's $100. So it's a $100 bill that is on this bonsai tree. And she's like, is this real? And she's like holding up to the light, and she's like trying to check it out. And there's a seal, and it's like, it seems legit. And right after she pulled it off, she looks down at the tree, and there's another one. So she picks it up, and she looks at it, and the serial numbers are different. She's like, what is going on? What is with this tree? So she doesn't know if it's real or what's going on. So the next day, she decides to test it out. She's like, oh, I skipped a part. Hold on a second. She gets a knock on her door, and she freaks out because now she's got like $200 in her hands. So she shoves the money in her pocket. She kind of like closes the balcony door and like tries to hide the tree, and her mom is there. She's like, Akane, the phone's for you. So Akane is like, oh, that's why you're here. Okay. So she takes the phone, and who's on the line? It's Juliet. Juliet's on the line. And she's like, yo, I have a question for you. So you know how I showed you guys my tree? Where the fuck's my tree? Did you take my tree? And Akane is so smooth. You would have never known. She's like so skilled with words, and she knows just what to do. She's like, oh, which tree? What? Who? What tree? What are you? Huh? I have never seen a tree before in my life. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm so sorry and so tragic for your what now? Your tray? I don't know what that is. I need to go now. Thanks for calling. Bye. It was great. It was very smooth. 10 out of 10. Oscar-winning performance. So Julia's like, oh, okay, I guess you didn't take my tree, and hangs up the phone, and it's fine. So the next day, Akane decides to test out the money. She goes shopping, as one would do with $200. And the first thing she buys, cake. Because you have to buy cake. So she gets the biggest like juiciest, most sugar-filled cake that she could find. And she hands the lady at the counter a $100 bill, which does seem a little bit like a lot, even for a very expensive cake at just a regular shop. But okay. So the lady, you know, just does a glance at it, make sure it's legit, takes the $100 bill, gives her change. And Akane's like, oh shit, I got change? What's going on? This is cool. That means it's real. That means it's real because she gave me change back. That's how it works. I don't know if you guys know that. That's how it works. But so she ate the cake. Delicious cake. Worthwhile cake. Worth the money. The free money. So then she's like, I can get video games now. So she goes, buys video games. She goes to the how do I word this that is understandable? I think you guys are nerds enough, right? She goes to like a arcade crane store, and so she plays, she gambles. Don't gamble, kids. It's not good. Even with free money, don't do it. So she gambles, wins a giant stuffed bunny, and so she's rolling in it. So she goes back home, and like the genius she is, she prepares ahead of time. She knows that her parents are broke. She knows they're going to be suspicious when she comes in with this really expensive stuff, and so she cleverly holds them right out in the open in her arms and walks through the door, flipping her hair. And obviously her parents see her and they're like, what the fuck is this? Where did you get this money? What the hell am I looking at? And she's like, oh shit. Like, who would have guessed that her parents would have seen her coming in with all of these expensive items? And so she sort of fumbles, doesn't really know how to explain it, and she's like, okay, I guess I'll tell the truth. Takes her parents upstairs, and she shows them the money tree. And her mom's kind of confused at first. She's like, I don't really get it. And her dad's like, it's money. Oh shit. So her dad's totally on board, completely there. And he's like, how does it work? Tell me how it works. And Akane's like, well, I don't know. It just like gives money. And he's like, does it run out? She's like, I don't know. It just keeps giving more. Like every time I take one, it makes another one. So it's an infinite money tree. So the dad's super into it. So he decides, let's invest into this money tree. So we kind of like fast forward a little bit, and the family doing great. They are actually so doing great that they've had to move because they have so much shit now. So the dad buys a new car, the mom... What did the mom get, actually? Pretend to think is wrong. I don't remember what the mom... Probably a new vacuum cleaner, I don't know. So then Akane gets like a bunch of new clothes. They get so much stuff they have to move because they have so much stuff now. So they have to move in a more expensive house. And she's at school. And she's clever, alright? Because Julia is still going to school. Okay, they're still in the same class together. You can't just like show up in a brand new outfit of like the top brand with really expensive stuff and like flaunt to all of your friends just how much richer you are all of a sudden and not have it be suspicious. Our girl is smarter than that. So that's exactly what she does. And all of her friends are like, whoa, you are so rich. This is so cool. We like being friends with rich people. And she's like, don't I know it? And they're like, oh, you know, what do you think of this brand? She's like, oh, I'm so bored of it now. You know, who cares? So we have to move. We have to move to a new house because there's so much shit. And Julia is right there. And she's just like, bitch. Like, she eyes her down. And she's like, the fuck? Like, I know what you did, okay? And then Akane is just kind of sweating a little bit because she's now realized what she's done. She's like, oh shit. I'm wearing like really expensive clothes. I'm talking about all my expensive shit. And Julia's right there. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. And maybe I should have been a little bit smarter about it. But anyway, so they move to a new house. They still go to the same school. However, something interesting happens. I have to remember the order of this stuff. Hold on a second. Give me a second to remember the order. So they move to a new house. The dad decides to, because the dad is so smart that I can see where Akane gets her intelligence from. Must have learned everything that she knows from her dad. So her dad decides to plant the tree in their backyard, out in the open, and put like a shrine there with it. So build like a shrine for the tree, plant it in the backyard. Really great spot to have an infinite money tree. Just saying. I don't know if you guys have thought about this, but having something that makes infinite money and having it out in the open. Those never-ending jokes to keep adding to it never comes to it. There is an ending. We're getting that. Okay? It's happening. We're gonna get there. So, Akane her job is, you know, to get the money. So she goes out, gets some cash, comes back inside. You know, they spend the cash. It's all good. They ended up hiring some maids, help around the house because the house is so big now. They just don't know what to do with it. And so one day, Akane is just like, not even like just doing it, just chilling. And her mom comes in her room and she's like, hey, I need you to clean. I need you to clean your room. And Akane's like, bitch, what do I pay you for? And her mom is like, you know, it's important to maintain a clean room and, like, you know, do things. And Akane's like, yo, we have maids now. Like, this is what we paid them for. And her mom is just like, you know, I think it's still important to learn these skills and be disciplined and all this stuff. And Akane's just like, fine, whatever, mom. So she gets up, starts cleaning her room. She's like making a fuss about it though, because she's 13. And then she picks up this piggy bank and just like tosses it in a trash bag and hands it to her mom. And her mom's like, but that's your piggy bank. That's like your precious piggy bank where we've been like saving money and stuff. And Akane's like, yeah, no, I don't need it. I have a shit ton of money now. I don't need this piggy bank that has like no money in it. And she, like, you know, shakes it and there's just like a few coins in there. It's nothing special. And so her mom is like kind of bothered by that, but like, you know, her daughter cleaned her room, so she's like, okay, I guess I'll go now. And then it's Akane's job to go and get the money from the tree. So she goes downstairs and goes out the back to the tree, and something's wrong. There's quite a lot of money by the tree, but there's also something else. There's a bow. There's this really vibrant red bow under the tree. And Akane's like, I know that bow. That's Julie's bow. Julie was at the tree. What the fuck? What is she doing? Now she knows that I have the tree. What am I supposed to do? So Akane's freaking out. But she's looking around and she can't find Julia anywhere. So she doesn't know what's going on. Okay. You know, maybe Julia was here, but she didn't take the tree. There's still the money here. There's actually a lot of money here. Like, more than usual amount of money here. So I'm gonna have to, like, you know, make a few trips. But okay. I'm gonna have to maybe figure this out next time I go to school. So she goes to school the next day, and there's lots of gossip. And there's, like, patrol cars. Sorry, English. There's police cars out front. And she's like, yo, what's going on? And her friends are like, Julie's gone. She's missing. What? Sweet. Because if she's missing, then there's not a problem. Because she's the only one who knows the truth about the money tree. And if she's not here, then that's good. You know? It works out. However, her friends are like, you know, her mom's also missing. Her mom. Who cares? What does that do to anything? So Akane's like, just, okay, that's weird. But I'm not that impacted. I'm actually not even really impacted at all. If not, this is good news. So I'm good. This is good. I'm good. I'm fine with that. So things kind of go on as normal. And, you know, the money tree is doing the money tree. Parents spending money. Akane is like having the time of her life. She's like, yo, I can have how many video games? All of them? Nice. So she's good. But then one day, she comes home and her mom's kind of distressed. And she's like, yo, mom, what's up? And her mom's like, your dad didn't come home from work today. And Akane's like, what do you mean? And she's like, he went out to work. Like, he was going to go quit his job because he doesn't need his job anymore. Because we have the money tree. But he hasn't come back yet, and it's really late, and I'm worried. And Akane's like, you know, whatever, mom, it's not that big deal. It's fine. So they end up not finding the dad. He's just nowhere to be found. And it's like, what's going on? And it's weird because he hasn't shown up, so he's missing. So they report him missing to the police. And the mom is like getting a little distressed about it. Because, you know, this is her life partner. This is somebody that she loves very deeply. And he's like gone. And Akane is like kind of bothered by it. But also, it's like, you know, they'll find him. It's fine. It's not a big deal. It's fine. Everything's fine. It's fine. So, you know, one night she's going out by the money tree, doing her chores, picking up the money from the money tree, you know, the usual. And there's just a lot of freaking money at this money tree. And she's like, dude, I don't know what's going on with you lately. You're just making like so much money. Like, maybe we shouldn't have planted you in the backyard for anyone to see, because then they could see all of the money in our backyard. But okay, so she's picking up the money, and her mom just comes out just to visit. And her mom's just like really tired and like sounding, and she's just like, you know, making a big sigh, and she's like, you know, we still haven't found your dad. And Akane's like, yo, chill, mom, it's fine. And Akane's just, or the mom is just like, you know, I've been thinking a lot lately about the money and the money tree, and I just don't know if I'm like, you know, really liking this so much. You know, what if we went back to the way things were before? You know, what if we were poor again? How would you feel about that? And Akane was just like, bitch, what do you mean if we're poor again? Like, why would I want to be poor? So Akane gets mad, and then like the mom, this part, okay, genuinely, this part, like, almost made me cry. Oh, okay, just saying. Okay, breaking the fourth wall here. I almost cried here. The mom pulls out the piggy bank, and Akane's like, why the fuck do you still have that? And her mom is like, I just wanted to be like, maybe we could go back to what we had before. And Akane's like, no. You know, mom, I was thinking, like, we could put, like, money out as a prize for people who find dad. And we have so much money, we could just put, like, an insane amount of money out there as a prize. Tell the police to say, we'll give this much money if people can find dad. And then the mom is just, like, not really wanting to have that conversation. And Akane's like, fine, mom, just, like, whatever. And so Akane turns around, starts picking up money, and she's like, no, mom, you can help me pick up all of this money from the money tree that's just like gushing out money like crazy now. And she turns around. Her mom's gone. And Akane's like, okay, maybe she went back inside. I don't know. She's a bitch. Okay, fine. Mom, be that way. So Akane's picking up the rest of the money, which is just, there's so much money. It's an absurd amount of money for the money tree. And she goes back inside. And her mom's not inside. Where did the mom go? So her mom and her dad are now missing. For the money tree is still doing the money tree, and it's still producing money. And Akane is now here by herself in this giant house with so much money. And she's starting to reconsider some things. And a month has passed while she has been living by herself. Just, okay. I mean, there's the maids there, but it's just... Okay, anyway. So her aunt and her uncle come by. And they're like, hey girl, hey. You know how we're related and it's all good? Yeah, so we're gonna live here now for sure. Like, just... Because you can't live here by yourself, you know, you're a child. So we'll take on the heavy burden of, oh my god, how many rooms are in this house? Look at the size of the kitchen. Oh my god, here are my daughters. Yo, go upstairs, pick whichever room you want, because there's so many. Oh yes, Akane, you're here too. Yes, girl. So sad, so tragic. About who again? Oh yeah, my sister. Okay, so tragic. So she's now living with her aunt and uncle who, like, obviously don't give a shit about her. And they don't know about the money tree. Okay? It's still a secret. And Akane's like, I can't have them finding out about this money tree. So she goes out to the money tree to pick up the money so they wouldn't discover that the money tree produces money. And as she's picking up, she notices something about the dirt around the tree. It's like disturbed. Like there's something up with the dirt. It's not like normal dirt, you know? Like somebody dug something there and then like buried it or something. And she's like, well, logically, I should just dig here and figure out what it is, of course. So she starts digging with her hands, and she hits something hard. She's like, oh, I think I hit something. So she like kind of digs around it, and she pulls it out. And what is it? It's her piggy bank. She's like, why is this here? Did my mom put this here? What's going on? And she's holding the piggy bank, and this part also made me cry. Almost made me cry. Just being real here. So she holds the piggy bank and she notices there's something different about it. She's like, I have held this piggy bank and I have checked it and I have just like shake it and I do everything with it for so long. I know every single nook and cranny of this piggy bank. It's heavier. She's like, oh my god, did my mom put more money in my piggy bank as a present for me? My heart, y'all, I'm not lying. I was like, this mother, oh my god. I felt so bad for her. Anyway, so Akane is now like regretting all of her life decisions. She's like, okay, I don't care about being rich anymore. I regret it. I just want my parents back. I want to be poor again. I don't want to do anything anymore. I don't want this money tree. I want to go back to what it was. I want my parents again. I want to see my parents again. And she's like yelling this. She's so upset. Okay, she's 13. It makes sense. Suddenly, she feels the earth beneath her like shake. And all of a sudden, out comes this root from the ground, and it grabs her ankles. And it starts pulling her down into the earth. And she's panicking. She's like, what the fuck's happening? Oh my god. And she turns around and she's looking at the tree. And it's bigger. When did it get bigger? Like, what the hell? I haven't even noticed it. You know, it's like day by day, you don't really pay attention. But it's a bigger tree. And she's like, I'm being swallowed up by the tree. Is this what happened to everybody else? And so she turns around, she's trying to like claw her way out, but it's kind of like the more that she claws, like the more that there's roots coming out, grabbing her to pull her down into this earth. And she's freaking out, she's panicking, she's like, Mom, somebody, like, I want help, like, somebody help me. And she's screaming, but she's looking at the window into her house, and she's seeing her aunt, uncle, and cousins just having the time of their life, completely oblivious to what's happening on the outside. And she turns back to the money tree, and normally with that screaming face on the trunk of the tree is suddenly a huge grin as it's pulling her down into the earth and sucks her in. And the last thing she remembers seeing is the laughing faces of her extended family in the window of her house. So 2 years later, this happy couple comes in to this house, and they're like, wow, this is a really nice house. We really lucked out into buying this house. And yeah, it's really cool. And the husband's like, you know, I heard a rumor that the previous owners, they all kind of disappeared. And even the extended family, they just like disappeared without a trace. And then the mom was like, the wife was like, yo, should we move into this house? That seems kind of fucked up. Like, what the hell? And dad's like, it's fine. It's fine. And then their like little 5-year-old boy comes up and he's holding some dollar bills. Like, he's got some hundreds on him. And the dad's like, whoa, what the fuck? Where did you find that? And the little boy, he points out to the backyard to like this 3-foot tall bonsai tree. And he's like, I got it from there. And the dad's like, whoa, that's pretty cool. The end. The end of the story. Did y'all enjoy it? Did y'all enjoy the story? I did like no art during that, but I was having too much fun. I thought it was a good one. That's definitely the best one so far in this set. But yeah, so the money tree like killed everybody, and that's why it kept producing more money. So each person it took, that's why it was like more money. So I thought it was a fun idea. I didn't really know how it was gonna end, but I liked it. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Your little spooky story for the day. Yeah, exactly. That's what they feel like. Yeah, so each of the stories in this book, that's why I like them so much, is that they have a moral for like kids, because it's marketed towards like elementary, middle school girls. So every main character is a little girl. It's like different ages. They range from like, I think the one I'm reading right now, she's like 8 or 9. Maybe she's 9. And they can go up to like 13, 14. But they all have different lessons. Like, don't bully, respect your parents, don't be greedy like this one. You know, be appreciative of things you have, stuff like that. And so I just like the way that they kind of go about the stories. The moral of the story is be poor. I think I told the other one a couple years ago, where it was a girl who was also pissed that she was poor, that her mom couldn't buy her stuff. But that one was more respect, like the efforts that your parents put in for you. But she also did not have none of them have a happy ending. There's not a single happy ending in any of these. They're all bad. Everybody always dies. They either die or they live on in eternal suffering. Eternal suffering, yeah. So they're never happy. But they're very fun for the most part. But this I think this volume so far has been the weakest of all of them. The first one is still my favorite. I might actually translate the first story in the first volume because I want to give it to my nephew to read. That one is it deals with video games, and he's really big into video games right now. And I thought it would be an interesting, although it gets kind of gruesome, that one does, because the girl sees like someone get hit by a truck, and I don't know if I should translate that one, but yeah, the one that still gets to me, that it just lives rent-free in my head, is the don't bully one, where it's this girl who's like really good at track, and her friends always bully this girl who's just slower than everyone else, and then I forget what happened to the girl who was bullied, but she like disappeared. Kids need more horror in their lives. That's true, like especially American children, like our stories are always happy. Like when I learn more about like Russian, just not Russian horror, Russian children's stories, and Japanese children's stories are very similar, where they're very gruesome and brutal, and like characters die, and it's like, oh my god. Like I grew up where there's always a happy ending, so like, and Alexander mentioned it to me, he's like, yeah, I don't like children's stories in the US because like they just don't feel right or whatever. But yeah, maybe I should just translate it from anyway. So, but if I do that, then I'll share it in the Discord so you guys can read it too, because that one's probably one of my favorites. But yeah, so the bullying one, they bullied the girl and she like disappeared, and then there was a dream that people started having. Yeah, Disney for sure. There was a dream that people started having where they were in the school and they were being chased by some unseen entity, but you could just hear the bare feet pitter-pattering on the floor, and anytime you like turned around, like you can't really see it, and you don't really have the time to turn around because you just like, you feel the fear and you have to run, and the only way to stop having the dream is to share it, so you're welcome. And the main girl character ends up eventually having the dream, and like even parents are like getting the dream, so it like spread beyond the school. But nobody knew what would happen if the person were to catch you in this game of tag, and so the main character ends up getting the dream, and she's successful, I think, for at least one of the nights. But then one of the nights she gets tagged, and turns out it's like the friend that she bullied, and she ends up in a coma in the hospital in the bed right next to the girl that she bullied, and they are forever, for eternity, playing a game of tag. And I'm like, that's messed up. I'm like, that's just so messed up. So that's the one. I think that's in the first volume. That one lives rent-free in my head. I think about that one way more than I should. Like, just imagining how horrific that would be. The rest of your life you're just playing tag. And then what did someone say to me recently? I made a joke about it. It was like, imagine being stuck with like your bully for the rest of your life. Something like that. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. But like in that case, you're the monster. You're the one who's like chasing them around. But yeah, so that one was freaky. Some of them are like really scary. One of them was like to be more respectful of pets too, which is like oddly specific. Sounds like a euphemism for like, for real. But one of them was like a girl was inconsiderate about a cat, and the cat cursed her. It was a really wild one. It was like a full circle type of story that like loops on itself, where like this little girl, she's driving, or sure, her dad's driving the car, and I think they either came across or maybe accidentally hit a cat, something like that, in the street. So the dad's freaking out and he's trying to help the cat, and the girl just wants to go home. And then I think the cat was still alive or something, and so they take the cat home, and the cat like the girl could pick up that the cat was like, something was up with it, and it like eventually goes full circle where the girl turns into the cat, and then it ends up that she's the one who was hit by the car. It was something like that. Be nice to your pets, y'all. Respect your parents, you know, assuming they respect you back. And then, you know, don't be greedy, be poor. Be nice to cats, all right? And I don't know. Be good to each other. Be good to yourselves. There you go. The one I'm reading right now feels a little bit like bullshit though. But where she's like, she's a picky eater. She's 9 and she's a picky eater and everyone's yelling at her to eat more food. And I'm like, okay, but like, I feel a little bit sympathetic about that. Like, she's 9. Like, of course she's gonna be a picky eater. But, alright, anyway, let me choose the winner for the giveaway. It was Nina! Congratulations! I don't know if you're still here, but feel free to DM me, and I will send you the print. Yo! Alright, I gotta go. I'm overtime, I need water, and I'm also super tired. I got no sleep last night. But yeah, hopefully y'all enjoyed the stream, the basically no art, but also the spooky story. Alright, hope y'all enjoyed the spooky story. Would you feed people to a money tree to get infinite money? That's a question to ask yourself. This is also something I really enjoy about the stories. There's always an epilogue that like explains the moral. And but the way they explain it, it's not like in your face. It's not like Sailor Moon style. But like that's a question. Oh, what would you do if you had an infinite money tree that eats people? It made me think of Tui from Little Shop of Horrors. I was surprised you're still here, yeah. I think I'd feed Putin. And like, yeah, if you had infinite money, you could probably get anybody to give to the tree. But it does eat indiscriminately. So you have to be very careful that it doesn't eat you. Or anyone you care about. So you'd have to like, you know, probably hire somebody that you don't care about to have them collect the money. To make sure that it's not you. You just throw a massive pile. Oh, God. But also you can't let anybody find out that you have the money tree, because then they're gonna try and want to kill you probably. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's funny. That would be funny. Oh, you'd be making it rain. That's funny. Okay. Okay, but I have hypothetical in Minecraft, of course. But yeah, alright, I'm gonna go. So thank you guys for hanging out with me today. Hope you all enjoyed the stream. Happy spooky times. And I should be live next week. We should be good. I don't know what we'll be doing then. We'll find out. But yeah, so thanks for coming. Have a good one. Bye bye.